Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host Shae Zombie, and I am here with the ever-charming, wonderfully hilarious Doc Salem, aka Preston. How you doing, Preston?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. So I got my female version of Doc Salem going because the only white wig I have is this. And I don't feel like the original Doc Salem is going to be rocking a mayhem haircut. So
You never know. I might pull a snowflake on everybody.
oh, good hell. We're starting this already. We haven't even gone out the gate and we're already talking about, let's just get out of the way. So Snowflake is safe space. So I know you got your opinion. So
I just think it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. It's like, hey, it's like it was pointed out to me, like this whole team is basically there to piss people off. So you got to figure this out, right? Like instead of like creating, because Alterna proved that you can create a 68-page book for 57 cents, full color, old style newsprint, all that kind of stuff. So to do a 28-page book, you talk about 20 cents, and they can put that in drugstores. They can put it in Walmart. They can put it anywhere. And yes, they're going to take a loss, but it'd be less of a loss than what they're suffering with this triggering book that they're putting out. This new warriors. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Because they spent thousands on artists, colors, letters, printing to get this book done, all to incite people to anger, like the long-term Marvel fans. You see what I'm saying? Like,
well, it's just one more glaring example that they really don't give a flying fuck what we want or how we think or feel, and they all think they know better than us, and they're all going to force feed us what their idea of our opinion is supposed to be, and it's really offensive, actually, just because
it's offensive because everybody finds it offensive. Everybody, not just CG, like SJWs find it offensive. Trans people find it offensive. Everybody finds it offensive because it's a blatant offensive. It's blatantly offensive,
Right. Well, and it goes back to the whole, like, one of the main tenets of CG has been, don't try and sneak in your political agenda. Don't try to, like, force me to support you one way or another because I buy a book, and then you start pushing like bullshit that has nothing to do with the story, nothing to do with the characters. Like, it's just it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I don't know. I just, like, at first I thought it was a joke, like everybody else, like somebody had done something and parodied like Marvel, and
right.
But then it was Marvel parodying themselves.
Yeah, the second Marvel started tweeting it, I was like, oh my gosh, they're for real? Like, this isn't like an early April Fool's joke or some shit? Like,
yeah, it's like, holy shit, this isn't a joke. This is real.
This is what we're doing now. This is where we've come. It's just, it's horrendous. So rather than deal with an absolutely abhorrent, disgusting, terrible fucking story like whatever Marvel is going to shit out next, I think that people should go check out Doc Salem, personally. And I think the best way for them to know all about how much more amazing your book is going to be than anything that Marvel or DC is going to shit out the next, decade would be to have you just give us your pitch.
Well, I want to personally thank Marvel for putting out safe space in Snowflake, because it's going to draw more readers to CG and Doc Salem and all the other books that are out there. So I honestly, it irritates me because I just can't wrap my head around how people can be this stupid.
Right, exactly.
But it's, it is what it is. Like, can you do sound on your when you play video?
I still can't. I don't know what happened, but it fucked up and is disabled on my thing, so I can't actually play it. If you can do sound on yours and you want to share a screen, then we can always go with yours.
Are you going through Google or
yeah, it doesn't matter what I go through. It doesn't
like
give me
Google
option.
Chrome.
All of it gives me the wrong option.
Huh.
I've been messing with it for like 3 weeks. I can't get it to play.
Let me see if I can bring it up to Google Chrome, and we'll see if I can get sound to play.
Yeah, if you can get
not,
sound on your end,
just
then we're great. If not, then go watch the video yourself, because I'm sure it's amazing.
Let's see here.
I like Steve's comment. Due to COVID-19, April Fool's Day was moved up.
Yeah, the next character they're going to make is going to be CV-19. The new Warriors with CV-19.
McGee suggested that the next one be called Triggered. And if they ever do one called Triggered, it needs to be like squirrely little person that's just like hiding under a table shaking.
Shoot. Okay, let's try this. And we're going to share screen. Okay.
It's a conspiracy. That's awesome, Chris.
Honestly, I'm not sure if this is going to work because it's not giving me. Let's see.
We can give it a shot.
Yeah, it's not giving me the option to go ahead and share sound. Like usually it gives you that option, but I think that's only on my end. Like if I'm hosting. Okay, well, there it is.
It should regardless, because anyone who shares screen should be able to. But we'll give it a shot and we'll see. I don't know what's up with mine, but that's the same thing that mine does. It doesn't give you the option anymore.
That is so weird. Can you hear it?
Nope. Nope, no sound at all. Well,
none?
No, right. I got nothing.
Yeah, then it's not going to work. It's
super fun. Sorry, everyone. I swear I will stop being a boomer and figure out what the hell happened to my audio. But until I do, go watch the video for yourself.
Yeah, so Doc Salem is the story. It's actually the story of Doc Salem is the story of Victor von Frankenstein. So Victor von Frankenstein, he's, of course, everybody knows he's the doctor who tried to cure death, but in the process, he created a monster. Well, the monster turns on Victor, and he mortally wounds him, and so Victor lays dying. His assistant Igor comes along with the Victor's elixir of life and injects him with it to try and save his life. Now, the process wasn't complete because Igor didn't use electricity in the process. So it took decades for Victor to recover from the wounds that the monster inflicted on him. So when he awakens, he's not much older because it slowed down his aging. But Igor's super old, he's ancient. The name Frankenstein is outlawed, and because of the damage the monster had wrought. So Victor can't come out in public as Victor von Frankenstein because he'll be put to death, locked up for life, all this kind of stuff. So he decides to take up the guise of Doc Salem. And as Doc Salem, he tries to make amends for his past by hunting down and eliminating rogue monsters. Doc Salem, 52 pages, a lot of action, a lot of Lovecraftian horror. If you're into giant monsters, I forgot that. You're into classic monsters, that's another check mark. So it's badass. And with this, like Doc Salem #1, you also get, it's also marking the first Comicsgate crossover. So it's crossing over with Six Gun Gorilla, Brian Kristoff's character, and the Literature Devils, Dr. Alpha.
Yep. That's so cool.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be kind of a landmark book because of that. If you did back Doc Salem on the first campaign, or you signed up for the pre-campaign, the mail-in list, or if you backed Rockabilly Roadtrip, or if you were one of the first 10 to back Doc Salem, you're eligible to get a super special perk, which is the crossover cover, and it's a raw cover. So it's the pencils with the good, the bad, the ugly, the Doc Salem logo. Let me see if I can pull a copy of that up real quick.
It's not this. It's up on the screen right now.
No, that's just the advertisement.
Ah,
So
I like
the
that.
actual, let's see here. Dead air. Do.
It's, you know what, we're a great shit show. We always have dead air or something crazy. It's And normally we would have, you know, your other two cohorts in here to just drive this horribly off the rails while you search for whatever it is you need to do. But right now it's just you. One
Yeah,
man
it's fine.
show.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have as interesting partners on Doc Salem.
Oh,
But
oh. I won't tell them that you said that.
yeah, me and Chris are going to do a show. It's going to be the Country Bumpkin's Guide to Life, and we're going to
That,
end with
yes, that needs to happen. Chris 1,000% needs his own show for all of his conspiracy theories and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely have to get with him on that. But we're going to end with an homage rake fight on every show.
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. That was so long and just terrible.
Hey, I never produced that. It was some other jokers out there that put that shit together.
I'm still blaming you.
I just found it. Anyway, that's the cover. That's the crossover cover right there. So,
That was awesome.
and the actual pencil, the actual inks are being inked for that. So it's going to become a public cover, but that's the only one that's available to the pre-backers and the backers.
That's awesome. So we've got an early question from Comic Book Scrapyard. He wants to know who's drawing the cover, the crossover. So I'm assuming the entire.
That is going to go through the way it's going to work. It's going to be a the way it's going to work is each writer is going to be in charge of their part of the story. We're going to have a definite plot that goes through it, but like as I'm gonna write my part, Brian Christgau is going to take the lead. He's going to take off where I left off, and do his part of the story in his book. The Literature Devil is going to take up where Brian leaves off and do his part in his book, and they're all going to use their prospective artists. With Brian, I may be the artist that's doing it, and there's probably going to be a primer that goes along with all of this to kind of link everything together. And so yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to hit a bunch of different things. We're planning on bringing some Golden Age characters into this. Especially the villain. I'm not going to reveal the villain because that's going to be a big thing. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting because both Doc Salem and Brian's character, Six Gun Gorilla, are both gunslingers. And another thing that's really interesting about this mashup is that all these characters come from wildly different backgrounds. Literature Devil's characters, he's evil. He's an evil doctor.
He's a terrible person. I remember having that stream, and I was like, he's just a son of a bitch. Okay.
Oh, he's a son of a bitch. Like I've read the book, and he's a bad guy. Brian's character is a good. I don't know if you would describe him as good. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a monkey.
He's like a neutral.
Yeah, I'm not miss species in him. He is a monkey, but so he's a gunslinger, but he's like an ape. So I don't know how Brian's a really good writer. Like if you're not into westerns, you're still going to be into Six Gun Gorilla. Like everybody says the same thing once they read the book, because it's not really it's not about the western part of it. It's about the gorilla,
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very interesting crossover. Doc Salem's not really a hero, I guess. I guess he is. He's just not the typical hero. So, the mashup's going to be very interesting.
Absolutely. It's cool to see this because you have all throughout CG and all throughout indie comics, you have people that have similar ideas, but they take them in such drastically different areas. Like you've got all of our, Monster MD and Oddity and all of those guys that are kind of like talking about their little groups. You got these that are all just it's just so cool to see everything kind of coming together and people collaborating like this and bringing these stories together. And they're really, really well done. Their art is always so good. The story concepts are always really, really good, and it's so cool to see.
Well, this is the fun part about creating indie comics is you expect a crossover with Marvel or DC. You know what I'm saying? Within their universe. But to
Right.
see something like this, it kind of joins the CG universes together a little bit, you know, and it kind of gives you some continuity,
Continuity.
some consistent continuity, you know. So it's good, you know, and it's definitely something to hang in there for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have a fixed goal of $2,500. You still have 28 days, and you are already 45% funded.
Yes.
Honestly, you need to be a lot higher than that, though. For
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
That 2,500. That's a very modest goal, especially considering how much you're putting into this and how kind of original it is. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go through your tiers real quick?
Sure, we can do that.
So people know.
So we got the featured tier. I'm a collector 4. So what that is, I was talking to you had Johnny on your show, actually. Segura?
Yes.
Pipe Dreams? Yeah, Johnny actually did a cover for me. I'm going to be switching these feature tiers out, like for each individual, for each one of the alternate covers. Mm-hmm. But Johnny's cover, I put that one up first because it was the last one I posted. But he pretty much knocked it out of the park. I mean, he's definitely got that Joe Mad style going on with this one. And he said he hid only a few penises inside of it, so I'm not sure.
Ooh, little treat, I guess, if you really want to stare for
So if you want to play Where's Waldo or something like that with the buck.
Oh my
and then we got the digital tier, you know, and the digital is it's digital. I don't know what to say about that. Like,
right.
After that, we got I'm a collector. So this is a physical copy of Doc Salem #1. And by the way, all of this comes signed. This is the cover I did. This is the standard cover. And yeah, it's going to be 52 pages. One of the stories within Doc Salem is also, it's a 1-pager done by the Literature Devil. He had his artist and colors go ahead and color it and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of genius the way he did it. Because it's a complete story within 9 panels, and it goes from start to finish and ends, and it hooks you in immediately. So the next tier is I'm a collector 2. This is a cover done by my buddy Tim Lottie. Tim is the Ghostbusters artist for IDW, and he knocked this one out of the park. He's really good. Like, he definitely captured the essence of the character in this one. Yeah, he even put his little doom buggy at the bottom. And then the next one, I'm a collector 3, is another friend of mine, Derek Donovan. I actually purchased this artwork from him. He did this traditionally. This is he's definitely got a Kirby-esque type of style. Yeah. He works for DC and Marvel. He actually worked, I think the last project he worked on was Cyborg. So yeah, that's Derek's cover. The next tier is the Doc Salem Fan Club. So this is all the covers for all the alternate covers, plus a membership card. So the membership card also has a code breaker on it to go ahead and break the secret codes within Doc Salem. Yeah, I definitely was keeping that from the first campaign. I really like that idea.
That's really neat. That's kind of like a throwback to all of the 80s and 90s where you got like the little like coded messages and stuff, and that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, you need the little piece of magenta colored glass to go over.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I used to love those things.
Yeah. And then we got I collect art. So this is a page from the book. I made this extremely affordable. It's $150 for a page. Now, the only reason why I don't include a book with this is because it has to be shipped completely different than the book. What I do is I roll them up and put them inside of an art tube. To make sure that's protected when it to transport to your destination. So yeah, that's that. And 2 of them are gone, so we still got 43 of them left. Nice. I collect art to cover. So this is the inked cover of Doc Salem #1, and I don't think it's unreasonable, like $350 for the cover, but that's it.
How big is that?
That is 15 by 23. So
Good
it's huge.
shit. That is huge.
Yeah. Well, I draw big. I don't draw small. That's how I get all this detail within the artwork. Again, like I collect art. The crossover promo. So this is the artwork from the promo. It features Six Gun Gorilla, Dr. Alpha, and Doc Salem. And really this cool. Is again $350, but it's also a pretty big piece of artwork. Then I got the mashups. So before I did a bunch of mashups with a bunch of other Comicsgate characters. One of them I did was Shinobi Sasquatch and Doc Salem, but that one sold immediately from the last campaign. Mm-hmm. The guy contacted me after the campaign was over with and was like, "Hey, can you just sell me that?" I was like, "Yeah, I could do that." So,
yeah. Can I just have that, please?
So anyway, yeah, absolutely. So if you scroll down a little bit, I have big versions of this. Absolutely, there you go. So this is the Doc Salem Death Sworn mashup, and this is again 15 by 23. Down the reason. What's that?
Is that the Death Star?
No, that's something from Carl's book. I have no idea. Like, I backed his book. I'm waiting for it to come in, but same. Yeah, it's just different. Yeah, it's just different stuff from his book. But also, he's a big, fan. So I included that character too in the background. Kiss fan, but I had to block it out on Indiegogo. So it's really the demon back there, Gene Simmons. Uh-huh. But yeah. So if you want to see like him not blacked out, you can go to my Twitter page and check out the artwork on there, or you can go to my Instagram. I think I put it up on there too. Nice. So if we go up a little bit more, we have a mashup with Sim's Vince character from Blood Hunt, Mandy's Wart the Wizard, and also Magic Cop. And so that's another huge ass promo piece. Yeah.
Which is that one. So all for $350. You can get that one, or you can get this one. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. But all the Doc Salem original artwork is priced to go. So
yeah, no, it really is. That's a crazy deal.
Yeah. So that's Doc Salem, and it's doing very well, considering the fixed goal is really low. So yes, but this is right now. It's only a 30-day campaign. I'm thinking about extending it. I put the fulfillment date back enough to where if I wanted to, I can go ahead and fulfill. I mean, I can go another 30 days. So, yeah. Plus, there's so many more shows to do.
Yep, that is very true. I feel like you need to have Chris be with you for all of the shows.
I'm thinking about getting Chris on board, to be very honest with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have him build. Doc
Sometimes it just takes a redneck.
That that is the truth. Oh my goodness! So I really love like the kind of art style that you got going for all this, and I went through and I was reading like the beginning of this, and I love the fact that he's just like
I break the fourth wall. Yeah, like I break the fourth wall in this book.
You do.
I don't have a problem with that because it benefits the story.
Right.
I think I'm going to carry it's going to be a trope for all of the Doc Salem books because I like the way it's going down. With this issue, I'm doing it right. Like I'm establishing the subplot, the plot, giving you an origin story. By the time you finish this book, you're going to know everything you're going to want to know about the character, but you're going to want more. So I'm definitely up for being on your show.
Ink has a very interesting show. At least his actual promo show is a lot less off the rails, but you would love his shit talk on Mondays too. That's
absolutely
1,000% up your alley for sure. And you already got Chris in. He doesn't even matter what he does.
Christopher's here.
Yeah, Chris has been here this whole time. You haven't seen him?
You want me to send him a link or?
You know what? Fuck it. Go ahead. Let's bring Chris in. Come on, Chris.
All right, let me get the
Why
link and
not?
I'll send it to him.
But yeah,
Christopher
no, I
Ford.
think that you'd probably really like going and talking with Ink. I know Ink would enjoy it for sure.
Oh,
Cause
absolutely. Send me a message on Twitter. We'll go ahead and hook it up. Yeah,
and if you're
definitely.
trying to find his Twitter, it's aside from it being Nikki the Pipe, which is really easy. It's also in the description on the YouTube channel. So there you go.
Doc Salem. Oh, Nikki the Pipe. Yeah, you're right.
Nikki the yes.
At Nikki the Pipe. Yeah.
At Nikki the Pipe. See, I pay
At
attention
Nikki
when
the
I have
Pipe.
my guests on. Sometimes when I remember. And I had no idea that I see. I don't know with this comment. I don't know if Chris is just saying shit talk in general is good, or if Chris is saying the show that Ink does on Mondays called Shit Talk is good. Oh, that's great.
Okay, I sent the link to him. He should be coming in shortly.
So
but Chris actually does have he tested positive for
for COVID.
No, for stupidity.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh. Oh, like I got that. That's fine. Don't scare me with the COVID shit.
I don't know if you want to have him on your channel. He's got
I mean, it's going a little too smoothly. I feel like we need to have the shit show factor come back in, and bringing Chris on will definitely accomplish that.
You just seen a link. He's probably coming in now.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been a blast doing Doc Salem. Like I put a lot of work into it. I used the same colors from Rockabilly Roadtrip, so that's definitely a plus with this book.
Yeah,
well, the Johnny was my old colors, and nobody liked Johnny's colors. I like Johnny's colors. I thought they were awesome, but yeah. I don't know.
Wait,
it's so weird.
Johnny Segura? Nobody liked his colors?
Well, for the original campaign, like that was his colors that I used for it.
Gotcha. Hi, Chris.
Are you feeling okay? I tell everybody you tested positive.
No, it was something else. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
He got the AIDS.
He's got the something. That's for damn sure.
I think it's a cure for AIDS now, man. I don't know about this corona shit.
Did you see the kids
right?
over at spring break?
I don't know. My son went down to Orange Beach or something. He come home and I was like, dude, you got issues, man. I said, you might need to like sleep out in the yard or stay in your truck. I know the back of his truck said send nudes and it had his Instagram thing on. What? It's like, what is wrong with you kids, man? I was like, y'all really do not care.
What are you talking about? I'm going to do that.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that might have been So I was going to ask you, Preston, is this your opening page?
Yeah, that's
so
that's the first page.
The story with "Hello, my name is Doc Salem, and I'm about to die."
Yeah. Full page of tentacle porn right there.
Right. So I've got to say, good on you for not taking the tentacles where you obviously could have, and just having them wrap around the thigh instead.
It's just not that kind of book.
Oh my goodness.
I think that Preston's characters in his book are like his alter egos. Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You think Preston's this badass?
Yes.
Well,
I've hung around with this guy. Like, yeah, see that? Look at it.
Nikki the Pipe tattoos or what?
Yeah,
I approached one of my tattoo guys and I was like, hey, how about a spade right here on my neck? He's like, how about $300? I was like, no way, dude. I was like, for a spade this big? I was like, are you kidding me? It's about the placement.
I just got my new ink.
Yeah, when I was drunk, 20-something years old, and I had kids, and I was like, I'm going to be a good dad, and I'm going to get my kids tattooed on my arm. What a freaking mistake.
Kids They'll always be your kids.
The tattoo was a mistake. So now I'm walking around. I'm like, I take my shirt off. Like, I got to wear sleeve shirts now. Like, I got Peyton and Braden tattooed on one arm and the other. And then Peyton's like, Dad, why does why does Braden's tattoo look better than mine? I was like, you know what? Who gives a shit? Because I was drunk and I had kids when I was young, and you don't do that. That's why I'm trying to tell you. Y'all go off the spring break, and you're going to end up with something that lasts forever.
Spring break at CG Con, I'm going to get you drunk, and you're going to get my name tattooed on you.
That 1,000% is happening. You know what? It's not going to be your name. He's going to get your portrait, and it's going to be the entirety of his back.
No, what's going to happen? He's going to wake up the next morning all hungover. He's going to go use the bathroom. He's like, how did your name get on my dick?
1,000% happening.
Okay. If that happens, y'all will never see me again because I'll be dead somewhere.
So we actually do have a question from Comic Book Scrapyard. He wants to know what your dream IP would be to work with.
Thundar the Barbarian. Thundar the Barbarian.
Dundar?
Thundar. You don't remember the Thundar? Like the old Hanna-Barbera character? Like old, like, you know.
Yeah, no, I actually don't. But I
It's
also
really
got into
old.
comics really, really late.
This isn't a comic. It was a cartoon series on it's back when they had Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh,
So
I missed those.
Really, really old. We're gonna get them a tramp stamp.
I'm just curious. Was He-Man, was that a comic book? He-Man? Was that a comic?
No. He-Man started out as a toy line, and they did mini comics with the toys to be able to get the toys into Toys R Us, I think. You know, and then to push it further, or maybe I can't remember if it was the comics that got it into Toys R Us, or was it the cartoon series?
I'm not sure.
Y'all want to see something cool?
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
Gosh. Hold on.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Is this a hold my beer moment?
Hold on, I got to light this. I'm going to prove something to y'all. I know y'all think I'm lying, right? Brady, open the truck. Where's your flash?
Open the truck.
He just pulled in the truck.
Oh, my gosh.
Where's your flashlight? Well, look at the ceiling. What do you want?
Dude, I can't. Oh, wow.
What the hell?
Hold on. Come show him your back window. Look at this shit. This is what I'm raising. You see that?
Send nudes.
Over here. Come to the other side of the truck. Hold on. I'm telling you, I raised a bunch of heathens. Hold on, look. Look at, and it has this. Can y'all read that?
Oh my god. You're kidding me.
Yeah, but
they're all retarded.
Ask him if it worked.
Yeah, has it worked yet?
See, if it worked, that's not retarded.
If it works, he might be an evil genius.
It's a live YouTube show.
You're so like, what the fuck just happened? Be like, I don't know.
Send nudes. What the hell, man? Like, all around Pearl River. Pearl River is not a big town. They're like, dude, you know your son's blind? I was like, yeah. So you need to do something about that. I was like, he's 18. I can't do anything. It is what it is. Sorry. If you want to send them nudes, go ahead.
Yeah.
See, but here's the thing.
You should hire a bunch of old people to send nudes to.
So as terrible as that is, right? At the same time, you don't have to do shit. What other people need to do is raise kids that know that sending nudes is probably a bad idea. Just be like,
Yeah,
have enough self-respect that you're not going to send nudes to some asshole who's got it on the back of his fucking truck.
or don't make sure you only do it from the neck down.
And make sure that you don't have anything that identifies you.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah, anything that identifies you, don't you send them.
That's one of those. Be careful what you wish for. Because you might get a nude that you did not want to see.
Hey, Steve, I know you're in the chat. You know what to do. Just go replay. You find that Instagram. I expect this to happen, you Marine. Oh my gosh. I mean, he might. Who knows? Steve's kind of a hoe.
I'm sending Chris nudes right now on Facebook.
Please don't do that.
Me.
I don't need to say none.
Sending you full moon nudes.
Wow. Wow. See, look, the second we get Chris on the stream, instantly off the rails. Just, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I'm gonna send you some Amish nudes.
I'm over it, guys. I just know when I go up north, up where she lives at, that there's people that ride buggies.
People that ride the buggies. There's some people that ride the buggies.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Steve, you do have to go back because you need to do what I just told you to do. The best part is I work with him part-time, so I will see him later this week and we will have a discussion about this. I'm just saying, tell your son to be prepared.
Don't send nudes.
It's terrible. Oh my goodness. All right. Questions about Doc Salem. So if you have them in the chat, please start posting them. Honestly, the project looks really, really fucking badass.
It's pretty badass. I dig it. Doc Salem's guns.
I'm waiting for my link, Preston.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta send that. I've been trying to work on some new shit. Honestly, with the cancellation of all of this stuff due to the coronavirus. Also, you're not monetized, are you?
Not yet. I'm trying to be. What are you gonna do?
No, what I've been hearing rumors that YouTube, if you say the C word, like they instantly like not shut you down, but you get like shadow banned a little bit. Yeah.
Wait, because you say coronavirus, you get shut down?
Yeah, if you say that.
What's the why?
From what I understand,
to prevent people from talking about it.
Exactly. Yeah. From
like, ain't that something we're supposed to talk about? Like, everybody's fist bumping. They're like, nobody shakes hands anymore. Like, dude, you might have coronavirus. You know, I'm like,
I'm not fist bumping anybody.
People can talk about it, though. That's how this goes. It's called gatekeeping.
Yeah. They don't want us talking about it. So, I mean, we already said it, so it's too late. So whatever algorithm they're going to have is going to go ahead and stop it. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, if their algorithm is bothering with me under 1,000 subs, I don't know what to tell them. That's really sad.
Yeah. You're not. I don't think you'll be affected. No. But yeah, like if you say, like, if you mention a coronavirus within a video or something like that, like or corona, you're instantly tagged. Yeah.
What if you're talking about the beer?
Well, it's going to make Corona really hard to advertise.
Right? You no longer get to advertise.
Did the Simpsons have the Simpsons cartoon? Did they have an episode about the coronavirus? Just curious. Not trying to bring up conspiracy theories or anything. I'm just asking. Like,
no, there was something about that. Yeah, I think I don't know if they said the coronavirus or something like that, but it was a bunch of stuff. Like, there's a bunch of things surrounding the Simpsons, like as far as conspiracy theories, like as far as 9/11, like they predicted 9/11 because Bart's holding up a magazine and it's got 9 with the Twin Towers right next to it. That, it basically looked like 9/11, and stuff like that. Like, it was crazy, like 1 year before it happened or something like that. But
Donald Trump coming down the elevator, like saying he was going to be running for president.
Yeah, stuff like that. We talked about that too, like on another stream. Like, everybody wanted to be Donald Trump's friend until he got into politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, the moment he won that campaign, it was like the devil just won. But every star in Hollywood wanted to be his best friend up until the moment that he won that campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was nuts.
Fun times.
I'm just trying to figure out the guys that write these cartoons or whatever. I mean, I feel like you can write about it. Do you remember the what the hell was that?
Seth Rogen
remember the West Nile virus? Do y'all remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they had the West Nile you can get from like mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I would sit out on my front porch, drink, and fall asleep and get ate up by mosquitoes. My wife's like, "You're gonna get the West Nile," and I was like, "Fuck it, it is what it is."
I've already been exposed. It's good.
Chris just wants to add it to the list.
Yeah,
it never got the West Nile. Like, never got it. I was like,
you missed out.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get it. I mean, a mosquito bit me on my lip once and it swelled. I was like, what the hell? But
you got kissed by a mosquito?
Mosquitoes out here are like, they're big and they're hungry and
big.
I've never met anybody that had the West Nile. Never met anybody that had Ebola. Never met anybody that had the COVID-19. That sounds like a rapper. COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Never met anybody that had any of this shit, and they say it's I don't know. I just feel like it's overhyped. All of it's overhyped.
I do too, but the problem with that is, what if I'm wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I willing to take that chance to say, this is all bullshit, I'm just gonna go fucking hang out with whoever I want? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, so it is spreading. It is deadly. The biggest problem, from what I've been,
but that's because you're paid by the government. That's why you say that.
No, trust me, the government ain't paying me near enough for that shit.
But you are paid by the government.
Unfortunately. But the thing that, the one thing I heard that people were saying is actually the concern is the fact that it's scarring the inside of people's lungs permanently. So even if you get
like ammonia.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Or like really bad asthma. So if you're a smoker, you're fucked if you get it.
Yeah, like I have asthma, so I don't want to even deal with it because I know exactly what it's like not to be able to breathe.
Right.
And Chris used to smoke 5 packs a day or something like that, dude. Like,
I never smoked that much. It was only when I was drinking, and that was only after 5 o'clock. Sometimes 2 or 3.
See, Chris, I feel like when you say it's only when I was drinking, I picture you always drunk.
You notice he's drunk now, right? It's like, oh, I'm drinking.
By the way, the comment that Ink just put that I have up on the screen there, that is essentially what you're going to be getting on his show. So, like I said, you're kind of guy.
Well, it could be worse. Well, that's the good thing, now that everybody's confined to their house, is the best time to go back Salem, and because
right.
I mean now, people are like surfing YouTube, and you got a lot of time at home. I seen a restaurant today here in town they gave away 800 plates of food, like different plates of food, and I was thinking, like, because they didn't want the food to go bad. But that's kind of commendable, that they're just like, well, hell with it, because
they could have just thrown it out. That's what normally happens at restaurants.
They're not going to do that because they don't want to miss out on a sale. Like, that's profit if they have to throw it out. Every restaurant, even fine restaurants out there, doing delivery now,
right?
Because it's because that's how they're going to make money no matter what, But
I just feel bad for the industry, like the people that are waitresses and waiters.
Yeah, they're gonna suffer. Yeah,
that sucks. Now the pizza delivery guys, they're like, fuck y'all, like we're on the map, dog.
Yeah,
they're sitting pretty because everybody's like, oh fuck, what do you want? I don't know, pizza delivers. Like that's everyone's default.
As long as they're not delivering COVID-19.
I'm not even sure if they're gonna let Are they going to let the schools open back up, or are they, because the only people that's going to come out on top on this are people who work for the government, for one thing, that, where their jobs are pretty secure in that end.
Yeah.
But I think things are going to switch over to be more internet based after this is all over with. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, especially because you don't there's a bunch of kids whose, schooling has been interrupted, and they're talking about, well, we're not going to bring them back before spring break, and we don't know if they're coming back after. There's some schools in Maryland that are talking about being done for the year.
Yeah.
And, just being like, fuck it, just, everybody gets a gold star and we'll move on next year and hope that all this stuff is gone.
Well, my oldest son goes to TLU and right outside of San Antonio, and he plays football, and he's like, they sent him home and they're finishing all their courses online. Yep. I'm like, well, what about spring?
All colleges are doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's he plays football, so his whole thing is that now they're not even getting to have spring practice. Like,
no. Well, I heard about that. I heard what they're planning on doing with the NFL and college football is they're all going to wear respirators and Lomax suits when they go out onto the field.
Yeah, no, I was super pissed because one of my big like decompression, de-stress like methods is to go and play volleyball. And not only did my volleyball tournament that I was supposed to be, it was a charity tournament that was going to be in Connecticut, and I was basically going to do nothing, play volleyball for 2 days straight for like 10 hours, and I was super stoked.
I used to love volleyball when I was a kid.
And then both the current league that I'm in, the current seasons for female and co-ed got canceled. The summer seasons are canceled, and we're just kind of in a waiting period. So I'm like the one thing I have, so I don't murder people, and I'm not allowed to do it.
Well, at least you get to dress up and
I get this.
You get to beat Doc Salem for at least an hour.
Right? I try to bring it. I do.
And the green looks good.
Thank you.
She couldn't do green screen because her face will disappear.
It did.
The last time she had the monster drink and it was like disappearing.
Yep. So while I was painting my face, I was like in a video chat with somebody else, and I still had my green screen active, and I just started disappearing as I was painting. I was like, holy shit, this is really good paint. So that's why you guys get a boring background. I tried to bring color, but
I tried to bring it.
A little bit of color. You can see where I had something hanging on the wall at one point that's no longer there. That's it.
Is that chairs in the background? Or is that like in the shadows?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, they're bookcases.
Bookcases? All
yeah.
Right. So you're in a storage locker or something like that, right?
Yes, that's precisely where I am.
Live from the storage locker.
Great Wi-Fi here. It's fantastic.
No, it's scary.
I got crap all over the place. This is
like
nuts.
if you look on the whole room, I mean, there's so much shit there.
Yeah, Chris's office is all professional and shit. Like he's got this nice desk and all this crap, and mine is like hell just broke loose in here and just scattered toys and shit everywhere.
Well, mine is half a storage closet right now, so I'm trying. I finally got real desks in, so this horrible table that keeps trying to cave in is going to be gone, and I'm going to have a real desk like an adult eventually.
Trust me, being an adult is way overrated.
Yeah, I've been being an adult for a while for the shit that nobody wants to do, like pay bills and taxes and go to work.
Taxes. Speaking of that, Chris, you better not send me a 1099 now, dude. I will be pissed.
I didn't send you one last year.
Yeah, you sent me one last year at the last minute. After I filed taxes and everything, I got a 1099 from his dick. I had to go back to my tax guy. I was like, can you please go ahead and refile for me?
My accountant did it. It was not my fault. I promise.
His account's his old lady.
No, she's my...
We're about to watch Chris die live.
You see, everybody's been saying that though, like as far as like quarantine, like a lot of people is like, there's going to be a baby boom, and a lot of people are also like, there's going to be a lot of divorces as soon as this quarantine's over.
So many people are like, I gotta stick around. Like,
I'm married
by my kids. I don't want to be by my spouse. Like,
it's
like I'm married to this dude. I don't know if I really want to be by him 24 hours a day.
You know, I think Preston, I think you should y'all should write a story on the comic book for like this, this era, what's going on right now. I think that would fit perfect.
You talking like a horror story about a couple that's locked in together, like quarantine, and they start to hate each other to the point where they want to kill each other?
Yes. Like
there is a book that's out right now called Pandemic, and it's the way that they did it is they capitalized the letters to spell panic.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is it's basically it's this. It's about this.
I almost took a picture of it today, but I felt like I would have been like it'd have been wrong, and I think people would have like judged me. There's a guy for like the last 3 days have been standing on the side of the road on the highway with a sign that says repent.
Oh,
and I'm
gosh.
Oh yeah, those wackos going to be all over the place, dude. Like, this is the end.
I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, like, are you out of work, like waiter or something, or like, do you have nothing better to do, like to stand out here with a sign that says repent? Like, everybody knows repent, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know repent until after you do the fucked up shit that you did. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I went to Mayhem Fest one year, and I went with, it was me and my husband and his cousin, and we were all going down, and they handed a flyer to his cousin, and I'm sitting here like all black and studs and everything because it's a metal concert.
Oh yeah.
And they basically like looked me up and down and were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this," and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually the teacher in my at my church for the kids that are between like 8 and 13." I was like, I just happen to like metal, but the thing basically said like, you are going to hell because you're going to Mayhem Fest, and like, repent now and accept the Lord as your savior. And I was like,
I just learned 2 things. So you're a teacher, and you're married. You're currently married, and you're a teacher.
I was a teacher for a brief stint in time, and I'm very much not anymore. Thank goodness.
I was at a Comic-Con, and they had, I was set up. The con was going great. It's crowded. Everybody's doing stuff. They're spending money. Everything's going fantastic. So I had to run out to my car real quick. So I go out there. There's a bunch of Christian picketers around telling everybody that's at the show that they're going to hell. And they got their picket signs. I was like, you do realize this isn't an abortion clinic, right? I was like, these guys are just dressed up as Spider-Man.
Like, everybody's got their own thoughts. The thing that I find funny is like, I am Christian. Like, I mean, I've got it tattooed on me. Like, I am Christian, but I also like metal. I like comics. I don't think that Harry Potter is evil. Like, some of the stuff that other people go down that rabbit hole for, I was like, that's not what makes you one way or the other. That's just, you're just being silly at this point.
Yeah,
you know what? They're everywhere. It doesn't matter. I had friends that were atheists that were just as bad with some of the shit that they would say, and you're just like, look, just live and let live. Like, go do your thing. I'll do mine. It's cool.
I had a friend that was he had a bad pain pill addiction, right? Like, oof, to the point where they had all this money from Katrina saved up. They were going to rebuild their house and everything like that. It was like $170,000. He spent every nickel. It was in a separate account, so his wife never really checked it. She just knew it was there. And when she went to go check it, there was like a few thousand in there. Like, he took every nickel out and spent it on drugs, right? And he thought he could hide it from her. And so he still never got help at that point. He only got help when he got into a bad accident. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but afterwards, it's like he replaced the drug habit with a Jesus habit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was quoting scripture. Like, everything. It was like, I was like, dude, you got to calm down. Like, I think I prefer you on drugs. I was like,
well, that's the thing is addiction is addiction. And while some vices are better than others for sure, if it becomes to a point where it's just straight addiction, that's where you run into an issue. And that's when you really need that help to try and get past it, because I don't feel like anyone needs to stand up on a box and proselytize to everybody else and say like, hey, you're definitely going to hell, because none of us know. Like, we really don't.
I do tell Chris that on a daily basis. Like, he's definitely he is going to hell.
Or do you tell him that do you just command that he goes to hell? Because I can see either.
Well, I'll be honest. Like, I don't know if you know this about Chris, but he's kind of a terrible parent. Like, he encourages his kids like to put stuff on the back windows of their cars to get chicks to send nude photos to them
and stuff.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's Chris's Instagram account.
That's terrible.
That's how he gets around, like, showing it to his wife.
Oh, wow.
Chris,
that is bad.
You bastard.
No, it ain't, definitely ain't.
Hold on, I'm sending a link to this video to your wife. So that see how the pandemic treats you.
We have one thing that we didn't address about Doc Salem. So while we're still trying to get to the funding goal of 2,500, we obviously want to get well past that. So at 10,000, you get a collector's ash can. Is that all physical backers?
10. If this project can get past 10,000, there's going to be more actually, because the reason why I really want to get to 10,000 is because I get to give my colors the bonus.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I would like it to get that high. I'm just not in like, I don't know if it will, because I'm not really a big name. You know what I'm saying? Within this community.
Enough exposure, I think.
Yeah. And I really hope it will, you know, but
I think you should be a little more confident in that, Preston.
Oh, I'm definitely confident. You know, I'm not saying I'm not.
Aside from everything, okay, Preston can be an asshole. I've been friends with him for a long time.
It's because I'm infected.
The flip side of that is he's definitely a very talented person when it comes to artwork and everything that he's done, you know, in the past all the way up to now. Now, do I think some of his things are a little unorthodox? Yeah, you know, does he come say shit that sometimes don't make any sense? Yep, he sure does, but that's what most artists do anyway, right?
Hold on, wait. Did that just come out of Chris's mouth?
Oh my God. I think I'm being stereotyped.
Say shit that doesn't always make sense. Came out of Chris's mouth about you, Preston. Holy fuck.
I'm not an artist though. Well, in the sense,
mean, you are when it comes to rebuilding cars.
Well, yeah, I've done.
Okay, there you go.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. said I'll always be a big name in his heart.
Yep. I put that up on the screen right around the same time you said that you were infected. So it fit really well. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Oh, here you go. Here you go. That's how we spread COVID, 6 a.m. Damn it. We talked about this.
He's got a killer rap song too. You got to check out his rap song. I'm gonna have to get
COVID-19. That does sound like a rapper, right?
It sounds like a gun.
Look, the media goes famous. It said famous rap artist in New Orleans dies of coronavirus, and I'm reading this and I'm like, I've been in the music since like since 1999, you know, and it's definitely in the New Orleans scene. Like I've done a lot of shit. I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. Like, who the hell is this? You can't even look him up on YouTube. I can't even remember his freaking name. But the media is like, yeah, famous rap artist. Like, this guy ain't famous. You know,
it's spreading panic. That's what they're trying to do, because that's where they make money, because viewers want to tune in if they feel like they need to, because the media's got, you know.
So when I was taking television production back in school, that was actually something that they mentioned, is that anytime you have like a story, you got to give them a hook or a cliffhanger to get them to watch, which is why you have all the time on like the evening news, this common household product could kill your kid. Tune in at 9 to find out what it is.
Yeah.
And so now everyone's like, well, shit, I don't want my kid to die, so I guess I'm going to go tune in and figure out what this common household product is. And they're like, it's ammonia. And you're like, well, no shit, ammonia is going to kill my kid. Like, if my kid drinks ammonia, they're going to die. I knew that. I thought
you got to stop your kid from drinking bleach. I mean, that's all. Right. Yeah, it's crazy, because part of the media's responsibility is to not spread false like, you know, news, right? I mean, yeah, like, but they're But that's all they do nowadays. Like I haven't watched any news since this all started. I haven't. I mean, if a rumor comes across, I just fact check it on the internet. I know that's probably not the right way to do it, but I do. You know, yeah. And if it's false, it's false. But yeah, I mean, the media has been horrible about, and it's not just this, like anything, because they want those views. You know, especially now, because now more than ever, like nobody's tuning into the news. You know, because you got Yahoo News, you got Google, you got all these other places that are giving the news first. So yeah, I mean, these guys they're pulling like tabloid tricks to go ahead and bring people in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that's always been why news was supposed to be the respected medium, and tabloids were considered like so far beneath, is because tabloids do what now the news does, and the news was always supposed to give you the facts, and that's not what happens anymore. Now the people that give you the facts are the people that are on YouTube that get struck.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're right. Yeah,
like Alex Jones.
Yeah. Chris is actually related to Alex Jones. It's his distant cousin, but everybody says like Chris might have been fathered by Alex Jones. It's possible. Gosh. Like, they kind of look alike. That's what I'm saying. Like,
we probably shouldn't say Alex Jones because that is definitely a word that's.
No. This channel just got struck because of that.
It's fine. You know what? If I don't have everything completely fucked by the time Cy gets back, I didn't do my job. I'm sure. So he's gonna come
actually,
back and be like,
I have heard
that. Do?
We said Alex Jones.
I'm sorry. I had ink on again. I don't know why. And then I brought Chris on, and that was a shit show.
I was like, do I really want to play it safe tonight?
Hey, at least
I had a margarita. Things got out of control. I might have passed out and let them just say whatever. I don't know what happened.
At least I'm not stereotyping little short Korean guys, you know.
Chris, please don't make me mute you.
Extremely racist of you, Chris. That was not racist. That is not racist. I'm saying, if you're short, it's not my fault.
Hovering over mute. Just hovering.
What is that called? That's called body
shaming.
Something. Body shaming.
Because you're short.
Tall.
Okay, so it'd be different if you call it like somebody a midget, right? Like you say you midget.
You know, checking all those boxes.
Is it
PayPal just dropped Chris?
Is it somebody a midget and they're not really a midget? Like like what defines a midget? Like what defines a little?
Honestly, short? I don't know what you should call them anymore. Like I don't know if it's little person, midget, small people. I don't know. Smurfs. I have no Oompa Loompas. I have no idea. But
oh my gosh!
What I am sure of is that I think they're awesome. And at metal shows, they should dress like trolls and go around and fuck with people.
It's kind of like this, and I'm gonna say it's kind of like LGB. Remember, it was LGB, and then it was LGBT, and then it was LGBTQ, and then whenever they came out with the Q, I was like, well, that's a new one, because I was like LGBTQ, and I was like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean queer, or is that question mark, or what the hell is it?
Queen?
Adding letters to the whole thing. It's like before you know, it's gonna be the whole freaking alphabet. We're all sitting at home, we're talking on YouTube, and we're like, we don't do shit no more. You know, it is what it is. I don't know, man. If you're gay, you're gay, and if you're Korean, you're Korean. Me, I'm just a white dude that really just talks shit and probably sometimes should be put in the back room and muted, right? I mean,
Chris, I'm going to be straight with you. Like, we've known each other a long time. I've seen you look at me in really weird ways, but I'm willing to accept your sexuality any way it comes. I don't have the same feelings, but I mean, if you want some nudes, I'll go ahead and float you a couple. If it gets you through tonight, I'll do it.
Hey, look,
totally cool with that.
I'm very secure. I'm very secure sexuality. You understand?
Wait, what? What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm very secure in my sexuality. You understand? Like,
I'm not
completely
saying you're
secure.
not. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know. I mean,
Hey guys, we still have 3 viewers. I don't know if you're doing enough. Shit.
just chasing them away is what we're doing.
You know what? I will say we have not yet touched the amount of downvotes as we did the first time I had y'all on, and I don't think we ever will. That was an epic time. We are at 6, but we have 7 upvotes, so we're actually in the positive right now. And I don't know that information.
Oh, we're at 6 and 6. Oh wow, that's awesome. It's like even.
Oh, mine says 6 and 7.
Oh wow. Okay. So we got 6 upvotes. I mean 7 upvotes.
Yeah.
There it goes. It changed. All right.
Yep.
Let me see something. I'll put a downvote on there just to go.
Damn it, Preston.
Tommy was only at like negative, wasn't it? It was like how many was it the first time when we did that?
55.
50.
Oh,
55.
Downvotes.
55. There was a lot.
Yeah. It's because you said something wrong on that stream. You said shit about Amish people.
No, that was the last stream. We said shit about Amish people.
Yeah, there was one before that.
This is where we watched.
Oh, we got 6.
Amish
We got 6
rape
people watching now. So there's more people coming in.
Aw,
That's awesome.
more people showed up for this. I apologize in advance. I brought Chris on, and now we're talking all sorts of horrible stuff. just throw this out there. Go back, Doc Salem. This is what it looks like. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This isn't what we're doing.
We're still going to talk about it. It's just we got to have like really fucked up conversations before this.
Well, you know, to be honest with myself, when you look at comic books, they're like the cool thing is the artwork. That's what catches me first. But like some shit that people draw in comic books, you have to honestly sit back and go, what is going through their head when they draw that? Like,
well, Chris, have you heard about the newest superheroes coming out of Marvel Comics?
Oh gosh, we're doing it again.
We got to.
Oh, wait a
Chris
minute.
is here.
Was that like Safe Space and
Holy shit, Chris has heard about it. That is how shit it is.
I heard it on the Walton and Johnson show.
Get out of here. Walton and Johnson was talking about that.
What the hell? Like, seriously, like, so yeah, there was Safe Space and Snowflake, yes. Snowflake and Safe Space. Yes.
There's also Screen Time, but Safe Space and Snowflake are siblings.
So that's real? That's honestly real.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, everybody
Snowflake
thought it was a troll, but it was real. Yeah.
Who did you come up with that?
Marvel.
Somebody needs to get their ass kicked. Seriously.
Oh, fired. But honestly, they're just phoning it in at this point because I mean they're like one of the characters is created from internet gas. Chris, what does internet gas smell like? Tell me what it smells like. Does it smell like pizza rolls and sorrow?
Slim
but I can tell you like I guess.
Does it smell like sadness and cholesterol?
Diabetes.
Diabetes and sadness.
All right, so what you're telling me is okay. So I'm glad we brought this up. So what you're seriously telling me is that there are superheroes called Snowflake and Safe Space.
Yeah, if you want to call them that.
There's also Screen Time was one. Yep. What's the fat chick? I don't remember.
That was Dora the Explorer, I think, with a thyroid problem.
I seen it on some YouTube.
Trailblazer. It was Trailblazer.
I seen a YouTube video, and I can't believe I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were talking about like what was it? Adjectives or something like people are going pronouns. What the hell is that? What is that?
I just sent you my pronouns. I would appreciate if you if you refer to me as
But that's a real thing, correct? You're telling me that's real?
Dude, I can't believe you haven't heard about that. Like that's from last year or something like that.
I have heard about it, but I was like, oh, that's a joke. I
thought it was too, but that shit is
year,
deadly serious. Like these motherfuckers are stupid. Like they've been filling milkshakes with concrete and stuff like that and hurling it at people over stupid shit like that. And these are like
my son told me he's in college and he sent me this thing showing that they did like they had a class about white privilege. And I'm like, well, it's all good because like you're like 1% Indian, so don't worry about it. He sent me like pictures. He took pictures in class and I was like, what the hell is that? Like, what are they teaching you in college? And he's like, Dad, this is crazy. He's like, and I'm a white guy. He was like, everybody's staring at me. I was just like, well, it's all good. Just be quiet and try to get an A. I was like, I really can't get
No, seriously, they'll kick you out. Like that shit is, they're deadly serious about that. You know?
Oh, I got a failing grade on one of my papers because I wrote something that was anti-SJW. And
get out! Are you serious?
Yeah, the professor was like, "This wasn't on topic," and so I went back and supported everything that I said with facts and research and stuff, and then they had to change it. And they like begrudgingly changed it to an A.
Well,
and then I dropped that major because I was like, I can't do this. This can't be my life.
I've heard that. Like it's the professors. Like the professors are super. I don't even want to call them liberal because they're way beyond liberal. You know what I'm saying? Like SJW, it can't be even classified as liberal. You know, the liberals won't even claim that.
Yeah.
My son told me it was worse in Pennsylvania when he was there. He said it was a lot worse than it is in Texas. But in the same sense, it's almost like, I ain't gonna say it's out of control.
Oh, it's out of control.
They're trying to like push a lot of the kids. And then Braden tells me, he's like, man, I'm surrounded by idiots. And I was like, hold up, dude. I was like, when you graduate, you're still gonna be surrounded by idiots. He's like, you want to see me at the Walmart? I said, you want to talk about surrounded by idiots? I was like, you should go to the grocery store, man. I said, they're everywhere. I said, because he wanted to go in the military after he graduates. I said, even in the military, man, I said, you're not immune to idiots. They're all over the place.
The best thing that I can say, anyone who wants to join the military is a cross-section of the general population. Just keep that in mind. So all of the shit that you run into just out in the world, you run into in the military. Like I when I was going through Airman Leadership School, it's something that you have to go through when you promote to be an NCO, and so you can actually like lead other airmen. I sat next to a dude who was in maintenance, and they were talking about the appropriate ways to counsel. So like sitting down with somebody and explaining to them where they went wrong, how they could improve, blah, blah, blah. And as a joke, the instructor was like, yeah, like you shouldn't ever throw anything at your subordinates. That's not effective counseling and this and that. And he goes, so like if your supervisor throws a wrench at you, like that's not okay. And she was like, what? And he goes, like one of those big wrenches that you use to work on a plane. If somebody chucks that at your head, that's inappropriate, right? And she goes, that would be when you would go to EO or IG and make a complaint because that's assault. And he goes, I think I need to have a conversation with my supervisor. I was like, dude, are you fucking serious right now? And he was like, I don't know if I want to talk about this right now. I might have a legitimate complaint that I'm going to have to file. I was like,
let me ask you a question because this is interesting. Like, I really want to know that. Like, I'm being serious. Like, all the shit that's happening now in the general public with people trying to be really cautious as far as how they talk to other people and using the correct pronouns and all that kind of stuff. Is that happening in the military at the moment?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like, so you're talking like drill sergeants and stuff like that.
Here's the thing though, is in the military we do have trans people that are in, and we have trans people that are in the middle of transitioning. And for those people, they have to have a sit down meeting with their commander and with their medical staff, and they come to an agreed upon timeline of how long it's going to take for their full transition. And there is a specific point within that timeline that they identify, which is when they will move from one gender to the other. So
but are they doing the crazy thing, or are they doing female and female? You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to find out. Like, are they doing which 150 gender do you want to be, or is it just should we refer to you as male, or should we refer to you as female?
The military only recognizes male or female.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Our uniforms and our standards are either female or male standards.
Because a drill sergeant, his job is to take you and beat you into a warrior. You see what I'm saying? Like, I cannot see them going over there and saying, okay, should I refer to you as, blah, blah, blah. And,
no,
like, I need 20 push-ups now.
You're in a specific, like, depending on where you are within that timeline of your transition, you are either male or female. Those are your two options. But also, I will say, when I went through basic, they could scream at you. They could, we had a guy who, I mean, granted, he got in a lot of trouble for it. We had a guy who threw a bed. We got screamed and put on our faces. I had to push all the time. Like, I had to push for other people fucking up. That was a really common thing. And they yelled at us frequently. They called us all sorts of names. You can't do any of that anymore. And I don't understand what they do in basic now. Because when I went
blanket
through
parties and all that kind of stuff,
well,
none of that happens anymore.
When I went in basic training in 96, I graduated high school and I went to Fort Jackson. And I seen the movie The Renaissance Man with Danny DeVito right before I went, because that's where I was.
But Chris, wait a minute. Like, a blanket party for you when you went to basic, wasn't that like a bunch of guys like banging you in your bed? Or was it? I'm just asking.
Actually, they pick it out with sheets and then they beat you with bars of soap. It
wasn't their penis. Like, let's be straight. I want to be clear about this. Like, I don't want any confusion. Like, the blanket party you went through, it wasn't like a bunch of guys beating you with their penis.
No, I didn't get no.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
So blanket parties, when you weren't naked, blanket parties were considered hazing, and hazing is a zero tolerance policy. So, but now they keep moving the bar on what hazing is. So, like, yes, I kind of agree. Holding somebody down and beating the shit out of them with bars of soap that's a little bit beyond. That's a little crazy.
It did happen though.
I know it did. I'm very well aware.
But did that guy that got beat, did he perform better?
The reason why it happened, here's why it happened, is because when you go into reception, okay, so whenever you sign up for the military, they say, okay, well, when you go to reception, you're going to be there 2 days, and then you go out to basic training, right? Well, here's what happened. This is where I learned that you think that the military is so smart and all the people that run that place are got it all figured out. In reality, they don't. And it's just like a regular job. So when you get there and there's a backlog and you end up staying in reception for a month and a half, and then coming on
delayed entry,
people start losing their minds. So you know what happens? Fights start breaking out. People are tired of being there. And matter of fact, after a month of being in reception and I'm sitting there and they said, who all here has a driver's license? And everybody raised their hand. I didn't raise my hand because honestly, I didn't give a shit. I didn't want to be there in the first place. Everybody raised their hand. I didn't raise my hand. He says, okay, you get to drive the push mower. And this is like 20 acres of field. All right. So they all get to mow this with push mowers. I'm laughing. I'm like, what a bunch of retards. Should never raise your hand. So they're like, who wants to pick up sticks? Dude raises his hand. They're picking up sticks. They're cutting trees. They're doing this, doing that. I never raised my hand. Drill sergeant says, Private Gable, why you don't raise your hand? I said, I didn't volunteer to be here, and I ain't volunteering to cut in that grass. He said, well, good, come up front. And everybody started oohing and eyeing. They're like, oh, this dude's going down now. He says, well, you know what your job is? And I said, what? He said, put your arm out. And they put this thing around my arm. He says, you're in charge. Make sure everybody does their job. I said, I got this. But you know what? I became the most hated person in the whole platoon. It was over.
Oh, same with me. So we don't do, like, now you do delayed entry where you, like, they give you a date that you're going to go to basic, but you, up until that date, you're home. You're not, like, you just have to be in the state that you're going to leave to go to basic again. But once I hit basic, we had a girl who came from a military family, and she was super gung-ho. She was going to be our dorm chief, and she volunteered. She's like, oh, let me be the dorm chief. And he was like, he goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. So she got fired within a week. So did our brother flight storm chief. And then they when you get fired from a position, they scan and they just randomly pick somebody. So they scanned the entire flight and they picked the 2 tallest people from like the sister and the brother flight. So I'm standing there, fourth elementally, gigantic over everyone else, and they go, "Yeah, you're dorm chief now." I was like, "Oh, what the fuck? I don't want this job." So we go off to basic training. Basically, they were like, "You see this girl over here?" And I went, "Yeah." And they go, "So she's a piece of shit. She's your responsibility now." I was like, wait, what does that mean? And they go, "Well, if her shit's fucked up, you're pushing." And I was like, "What the fuck? She's so dumb. I don't want her." I was like, "Can you do a hospital corner?" And she tried, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." I was like, go roll some socks or some shit, and then do her hospital corner, turn around and be like, "The fuck did you do to the socks? That's just sit in the corner, don't touch anything." We had to get everything right for all of her shit. And we go off to Warrior Week because we're the Air Force and we don't actually do military things. we had 1 week, and it's now like way shorter than that or less intense. I don't remember what they've changed it to after like 500 times. But when I went to Warrior Week, I had a pact with all of my girls, and I was like, "I'm gonna sound like a crazy bitch. I need you guys to not get butthurt and just roll with it." And I was like, "Because we're gonna get through this." And right before I got on the bus, my TI was like, "Hey, if I hear any shit, I'm gonna destroy you when you get back." And I was like, "Yep, that sounds great, fantastic." So we go into Warrior Week. I'm screaming at all my girls. I'm like, "Get off the fucking bus, get your shit, and get in the line." And everyone's like lining up, everything out, just totally silent. All the other flights got off and we're fucking around and pushing each other. So our TIs come up and they're like, "What the fuck is this shit?" You watch everybody just freak out. They all got put on their faces and they're like, "Who's the dorm chief for this flight?" And I was like, "Right here, sir." He goes, "Fantastic. Y'all come with me." We just marched off and they sat and pushed for 20 minutes.
And you're definitely the person of the whole bunch.
And then the whole time all of this shit's going on, so like we ended up getting paired. So we got 2 brother flights while we were in Warrior Week. And I was like, "Oh, thank fuck, I don't have to be the only one screaming. This is great." Both the male dorm chiefs stood up and they go, "All right, listen up. Y'all listen to her." And I was like, "What the fuck just happened? Like, how did you guys get out of being in charge? And now I have to be in charge of 3 fucking flights." But it got to the point where I scared so many people. We had people that were fucking around when we were waiting for the TIs to come around, and I was like, I'm not pushing because you're dumb. So I went to the dorm chief and I was like, "Can you handle your flight?" And he was like, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got it." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, we'll see if you do. And I went back over. He goes and he whispers some stuff to them, and they all bust out laughing and started being more rowdy than they were before. So I go walking back over, and this is everyone in Warrior Week. So we have like 15 flights just sitting around on bleachers, and everyone's supposed to be reading their airman's manuals. So I come around, I was like, "Sit your fucking dorm chief doesn't have the balls to tell you to shut the fuck up, I'll do it." And I was like, "Get all your shit, start studying, because I know you dumbasses don't know anything, and stop fucking around." And they all just looked at me and I was like, "Did I stutter?" And everyone just went, "Holy fuck." Got their books out.
So do you think they could do that nowadays?
No, not at all. I would have been kicked out.
What year was that?
That's what I'm saying. Like
2006.
What kind of, well, that's my point. Like, what kind of military are you making when you do social like no, I guess norms? Now it would be considered norms, right? Like what's going on now socially?
It's crazy. The thing is I know that I keep my mouth shut a lot when I'm at work.
Like, it's gotten so bad that I've heard rumors about people bringing their mothers with them to job interviews because they get too nervous while interviewing for a job.
I wish someone would.
This is a 20-year-old person that has to bring their mother with them to go to a job interview.
Nope.
You know, and yeah, that's how.
Hire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, but then this is the type of people and if you don't hire them, then they could say that you're discriminating against them because they're hypo I don't know, like they have panic attacks or whatever. You know, I mean, it's craziness, but it's all this pussification of these people. You know,
you know what I think is, and this is for my 3 boys, because I got 2 boys that are graduating high school this year. Neither one of them are going to college, either one. And I think it's because the oldest one, they see what the hell he went through, and they're like, "Nah, I'm good." Because in their mind, they think they can go do something else, making money, and getting through this world without having to do the college thing. Because the big thing back in the day was like, go to college or go to the military.
Yep.
You gotta
Well,
do this, and people
Me
didn't
and
do it.
Heather talk about this all the time. Like we talk about it all the time because she teaches kids that they're never going to go to college. They're just not. I mean, they're barely going to make it out of high school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they don't have the job. They don't have trade schools anymore where they can just go and take half a day off of high school to go to a trade school, learn how to weld or be a plumber.
But you want to know, what I think the biggest problem is, Preston, is like what you do, being an artist, and like even doing the live YouTube videos. It's like people stepping out of the norm and saying, you know what, I'm willing to do this because this is what I love to do and this is what I like to do. Whenever you take the monetary aspect out of the equation and you're doing something because it just makes you feel good, then it becomes totally different. It's like even, and this is my own personal opinion because I know I'm a little fucked up. I'll admit to it. But with your artwork and with, say, comic books and everybody doing the different things that they do, that completely, you cannot go to college and learn how to do the things that, say, that you do, like with drawing. That's something that has to be learned. It takes repetition. It takes practice. It takes screwing up. It takes people telling you suck. You have to be able to deal with those things in life. And guess what? A lot of kids nowadays can't deal with the fact that somebody looking at them and go, dude, that really sucks.
I had speaking of that, I had a person come up to me and he was like, yeah, I got fired because the boss, he doesn't understand that you can only create when you feel like. I was like, no, dude, you got to do it when they say to do it. That's how you make a paycheck. I was like, that's called being a professional, And the thing is, you're right. Like you have to have at least a spark of talent, and school helps if you already have a knack for it. You see what I'm like, a talent for it, because it cuts down the time you're going to learn those different mediums, how to learn different tools, how to learn different types of paint, how to use it and stuff like that. But too many people are going to college for art because they think it's going to be an easy way to make money and have a really cool lifestyle. And that's not the case at all. You got people who obviously don't know what they're doing, but they know just a little bit because they went to school. They think that they can do the job that a talented person can do, but that's not the case at all. That's how you get Blue Dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Blue Dog.
Bitches hanging up in the restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how you get these people who draw not that much different than your daughter or something like that, when she was 2. They get work in galleries, but they have to talk about their work. They have to sell it instead of letting people go ahead and say, oh, God, that's really good. This person's got talent, right? I think I'm going to buy that. No, they got to explain to you why it's good. And
you don't want to be that artist. Like one of the people on his feed said, the rappers, and I don't know who it was. They become famous after they die. What I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, you don't want to be
like
that.
Me and you. If me and you went to school to learn how to rap, can you imagine that? Like we have no knack for it, but like we're going to be rappers. We're going to take a class in Delgado or some shit like the LSU to learn how to rap. We're going to learn from the masters. How much do you think they're going to be able to teach you?
Hey, do they have a rap? No, seriously, is there a rap school? Like,
no, not that I know of. No.
No, there's
like,
not
what if we started a rap school?
That would be awesome.
Oh
Dude, we make a mint, dude.
We can have like different classes. Like you got Post Malone, and then you got Tupac. We can take classes after.
The first school of hip hop. That would be so awesome. Hell, that's $1 million idea right there. I think I'm gonna do it.
Oh man. Okay. So we got so horribly off topic. I'm going to rear it back just a little bit. So we were talking Doc Salem. We were talking about all the awesomeness that is this super cool campaign. Still have 28 days left to back it. There's a lot of really badass tiers, some really cool artwork. It's 1,000% something that that I think you guys should get behind and definitely make sure that you go and back. I don't think that I've got any questions from the chat because we always just go off the rails. So that's how
fine.
life is.
Doc Salem's awesome. Back it. It'll be fun. You'll love it. If you want escapism, that's what you want. Doc Salem. But besides, I mean, what are you going to do? Buy a Marvel comic?
Right. Like, there's nothing else to do. We might as well go back Doc Salem.
Yeah. I mean, that's the new wave of comic books. You're not going to find anything better. I mean, you can try Marvel, but I guarantee you're going to leave sad. You know, you're going to smell internet gas.
Oh my gosh!
It's just gonna smell like pizza rolls and sadness.
Apparently, Dave learned to rap at Juilliard.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past Juilliard to have a rap class over there, dude.
No,
huh?
He's joking, right? Or is that...
No, Juilliard, the music school. I guarantee you, they got a rap class. I guarantee it.
Modern rap.
They got a metal class, like where you can learn to play metal. You know?
Okay, so
this is how you spit sick rhymes, yo.
you know what's funny is
put your hand in front of your mouth.
We all make fun of the modern rap and everything, but I will be honest, and I am man enough to admit sometimes like Post Malone, he's a very strange fella. But let me tell you something. That's a talented dude. Seriously, he really is talented. Like, he's got a lot more talent than a lot of other people. But like, where did you learn that shit from? You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably taught himself that. You know, it's just like artwork. You know, these comic books, like the things that y'all come up with in your head, like, oh, I'm gonna draw this or draw that. Like, I don't know if it's spontaneous or if it's something that's, and I don't even really know if it's a lot of thought put into it, because people being creative, I feel like is a very spontaneous thing. Does that make sense? And you have to be able to deal with the ridicule of people making fun of you and saying, "Oh, you suck." Like, I'll do a video, I'll show it to Preston and say, "Hey man, what do you think about this video?" It's like, "Oh dude, that sucked." I'm like, "Damn," but I don't want to say that. You know?
Chris, how many people laughed at us? How many people laughed at us about Road Trip? And so we came out with that movie trailer.
A lot of people. Like, we had a guy, like, when we were on doing the film shoot, this guy Brandon was out there, and he's done like Redneck Billionaires. He was on all these different reality shows. He raced monster trucks and all this shit, and he's laughing. Like, before we were doing it, he was laughing at us and making fun of us, and he come out there and see what we was doing, and then he's seen the comic book, and then he's seen the sizzle reel, and then he's like, now we're rebuilding the car to make it actually drivable, where we can actually do something with it. And he's like all in, because now he's like, dude, this is awesome. And I was like,
right.
I told you it was awesome. And he's like, no, I thought you was. I'm not gonna say. I was about to say like fag and gay and all that shit. It's like, I can't do that anymore because it's so politically incorrect.
Oh my God, that's the craziest.
On that note, damn it,
you might as well have just said fuck, dude.
All right. So, love you guys so much. I'm gonna call it at 1 hour and 32 minutes. Make sure that you go and back Doc Salem, currently on Indiegogo. The links are in the chat. The links are also in the channel description. Or the video description. Thank you so much, Preston, for being on. Always love having you. Thank you, Chris, for hopping on and distracting from the entire point of all of this. But yeah, you guys are amazing. And as always, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie if you are not already. And yeah, it's been fun, guys. We'll catch everyone next time.